Hi, what's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday, I guess. Pep Talk Tuesday. I am going to go over the exact protocol that I had my mom on. I think many of you know that she's dealing with cancer. Let me rephrase that. She was diagnosed with cancer, but she was dealing with chemo. Chemo was pretty miserable. So, anyway, I'm going to tell the story here. I'm not putting this on Facebook. This is just for my school community, and that way it's not censored. I can tell you exactly what happened. If I put this on Facebook or any other platform, it would be taken down. I would be banned. And anyway, so thank goodness for this platform, the school community. Here's what happened. I'm going to tell the story. Back in December, I was living in Knoxville, and I was planning on visiting Arizona over the holidays. So I was going to make the road trip anyway, spend some time with friends and family, and I get a text first part of December, and Mom's like, cancer's back. Now, the year before, she had pelvic cancer, and she, right around the same time, she went through chemo and radiation, and everything, everything was good. So it took about, if I remember right, it took like 6 months worth of treatment, and she was cancer-free by the summertime. So when you have cancer, it spreads around and you get it again, and they keep testing you. And she did a routine scan, and no symptoms. She wasn't sick. She wasn't ill. She was healthy. But the scan that the doctor put up said, okay, you got 3 tumors in your throat. So it's, I think, lymph node cancer. They said it's pretty bad. This is more. We're going to need a more aggressive type cancer treatment. We're going to put you on a much higher level, higher dose of chemotherapy, and it's going to suck. So she opted to do that anyway, against some of us saying, hey, you know what, there's some alternative things. You want to look into that? She goes, no, I'll do the chemo. It worked before, so I'll do it again. So she started that right away. I think it was December, shortly after her diagnosis. She went on chemo, and honestly, I mean, it started killing her. It was horrible. I moved back here. I'm in Arizona now. I'm living with my mom, and I could see her decline every day. It was bad. She lost all her hair, and she lost a lot of weight, and she had no energy. She was sleeping 14 hours a day at least. Couldn't sleep, neuropathy, this and that. She was miserable, and it was really hard for me to see that somebody that you love more than anything in the world decline on a daily basis. So I'm gonna share with you guys exactly what we went on from the jump, and then what we added at the more recently. And thank God she's cancer free today. So if you haven't seen me talking about it on Facebook, there's a this is a good story. This is a good story. So anyway, get into it. So we put her on a handful of peptides, 5 or 6 different peptides at the beginning. What I wanted to address was the 3 metabolic breakdowns that I talk about that lead to all chronic illness. And it's your insulin resistance, it's systemic inflammation, and it's your mitochondria, your ATP power plants are just broken down. So we wanted to address those 3. That's the foundation of really any good peptide stack, and overall health and wellness stack, regardless of what your goals are. Those are the foundation. And We started with retatrutide because it addresses all three of those categories. Obviously, she wasn't trying to lose weight. That wasn't the goal. And 99% of people that go on Retta are want to lose weight, burn fat. That was not the objective. Though, knowing my mom as well as I did, I know her routines, her habits, and she ate a fair amount of sugar. And ice cream was a nightly thing for her. Sugar, if you don't know, just is not good with cancer. Cancer loves sugar, so you got to cut off the sugar. That was the insulin sensitivities. We wanted to take the food noise away. We wanted her body to respond better, have a better insulin response. Again, the goal was not to lose weight. She lost a lot of weight, chemo. And by the way, if you want to lose a lot of weight, get on chemo. You can lose a lot of weight. You're also going to lose all your muscle too. And I think she got down just a tad under 100 pounds. I'm not sure where she started, but chemo is absolutely a muscle wasting, just horrible drug. So anyway, we got her on Retta right away. The food noise went away. Ice cream no longer became something that she was interested in. We basically tried to take all sugar out of her diet. That was the first thing. The second, I'll go over all of them. Basically, my sister comes over every day, or she loads up all the syringes. Mom doesn't want to deal with it, so she'll put everything in these little Ziploc bags. Everything's preloaded. Thymosin alpha. Here, let me get back to the three metabolics. Breakdowns. So retatrutide. We jumped on BPC and KPV for the inflammation, and then the mitochondria, we were doing NAD and MOTS. Okay, so those we're covering all our bases. Foundationally, thymosin alpha is an immunity peptide. It strengthens your immunity. Look it up, research it. It really should be. I never have anybody order thymosin alpha. I did recently. I've got a friend in North Scottsdale. She's sick. She's got the flu, can't get rid of it. And she's like, hey, do you have any thymosin alpha? And yes, I do. It's for my mom, and I take it. Not a real popular one. I think it's like 85% of all peptides sold are GLPs because people want to lose weight, but there's a lot of peptides that do some amazing things. Thymosin alpha for your immunity. DSIP, Delta Sleep Inducing Peptide, we put her on that. She's taken, I told you, BPC, MOTS, PAD is another one. Not a popular peptide, but we put her on PAD, Retta, KPV, NAD. ARA 290. For anybody that has neuropathy, my mom didn't really have that. It runs in our family. There's chemo-induced neuropathy where your feet are just on fire, you're in horrible pain. This started working right away. I would see her every morning, Mom, how are your feet? She went from being in miserable pain, neuropathy pain, to yeah, no, my feet are still numb, but it doesn't hurt. Oh, I can still feel it when I walk, but the pain went away. So ARA 290 for that. We put her on methanol blue right away. Methanol blue, you put it in water, it makes your pee turn blue, it doesn't taste good. She's like, I don't like the taste of this. I'm like, Mom, just take it. So she did, and methanol blue has a lot of anecdotal type, not research, but a lot of people are saying, hey, this helps with cancer. So it helps with cancer, we're gonna do it. The big ones, ivermectin. our doctor here, she went to her, she wrote a script. The highest milligram that she would go is 3 milligrams. I was getting it through a compound pharmacy in Mesa. It's $4 a pill, 3 milligrams. That's where we started. And then I was able to find another source, so I'm going to talk to you about that. I was able to find a 12 milligram capsule, and she was taking 2 a day. So she's taking 24 milligrams of ivermectin, and fenbendazole comes in 444 milligrams. She was taking 2. So we're going to go on the high end of the range. We're going to be aggressive. I use a lot of football analogies, and I talk about, fundamentals, blocking and tackling. Fundamentals, that's your foundation for success. But the best defense is a good offense. So we wanted to go on the offense and really attack this. You guys, government, big pharma, the doctors, they don't. Why would the doctor not say, hey, I don't prescribe this, but you should probably try it? I don't know. They can't make money off this, so they don't offer it, and few of them talk about it, and all of them know about it. It's the same thing that Joe Rogan talked about during the pandemic, and said, hey, I took ivermectin to get rid of the COVID bug. And, people, the left, we'll say 48% of our country, they went batshit crazy. It's a horse dewormer. He's lost his mind. Ivermectin's been around for forever, I think 100 years, and has received all sorts of awards for what it's done as an anti-parasite. Over the last couple of years, I take ivermectin a couple times a year, and it knocks out your parasites. And funny story, but short story, pinworms. I had pinworms, and I didn't know what pinworms were, but it's where your butt itches at night. And it's just at night, and it itches really bad. And for several years, I was going to doctors going, do I have hemorrhoids? Or, do you have something to put on this? And here, we'll give you a cream or a gel. Stick your finger up there, and what do you see? It's, sorry for being gross, but they couldn't figure out why I had this itchy ass. I got on ivermectin a couple years ago, and cleared out. It was pinworms. So I don't know. Sorry to gross you out, but it is what it is. I had been looking for a PNC 27. I couldn't find it anywhere. So in my research, PNC 27 is a peptide that attacks cancer cells, and there's no studies done on it. But so this is purely anecdotal. I'm an idiot. I can't pronounce words. So nobody wants you to know about it, and we don't know if it even works. But this seemed like the one peptide that we should be taking. I was getting desperate. I was going to China. I got scammed out of a few $100s, and somebody's in China. By the way, if you try to buy from China, there's no recourse when they take your money and they disappear. So buyer beware. I was desperate. I didn't care. I bought some PNC, and they disappeared the next day. I bought another round with somebody else in China, and they gave me a tracking number. 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, this thing hasn't moved. They're like, it's caught at customs. Sorry, do you want us to send you something else? I'm like, no, I want this. And it's still sitting at customs 3 months later. So again, that's what you get when you buy something out of China. I was able to find, just at the grace of God, and God's involved in all this, by the way, I was able to find a U.S. pharmacy that had PNC. So I found different labs that had PNC, on their website or on their product list. They were just always out. So obviously not a big seller. Should be a big seller if you know anybody that's got cancer. They're based in Their lab is in Henderson, Nevada, and their warehouse is in Pensacola, Florida. I'm partnering with them going forward. They've got a really amazing product line. I'm adding all their products to what I offer. I'm going to go out to Pensacola in a few weeks. I'm going to meet them. I'll have my website up and running probably in a couple weeks, where you can buy bottles online. They've got some awesome like nasal spray. If you don't like the injections, a lot of people don't. The nasal spray for some peptides and bioregulators, proteins, is an effective. It's not as effective as a sub-Q, but it's an alternative. So anyway, that's coming. Apidolon is another one. So Apidolon, I learned about this early on, and you read that it resets your circadian rhythm. You take it for 10 days in a row, and you only need to do it once or twice a year. Has a lot of longevity benefit. It extends your telomeres. Do you even know what a telomere is? I don't know what a telomere is, but it extends your telomeres, and it's got a lot of longevity benefits. Well, sure as shit, I just dropped a video in our school. Dr. Trevor just did a short video on Apidolon and cancer. Watch that video. You'll know what I'm talking about. Apidolon, ironically, not ironically, but the truth is, over the last 9 weeks, we've done 2 10-day rounds, little bursts, or you can call it a cycle, of Apidolon. So 10 days, I take a break, and we ran another 10 days. I think that's part of the equation. So if I were to guess and make an educated guess of what has happened from 9 weeks ago when she had cancer clearly on the scan, and she doesn't today, over 9 weeks, we upped her ivermectin, and we got the fenbendazole and the PNC 27. We've been running that, and the Apidolon. That's it. I mean, so if you know anybody with cancer, I mean, God, it's crazy. In the last week, my cousin in Florida, he's diagnosed with like a rectal cancer, and I've had several friends. My dad's got prostate cancer. My mom's got this. I'm having people reach out to me on Facebook or through Messenger. Cancer kills a lot of people, let's be honest. It's the number 2 cause of death in the United States. Number 1 is heart disease. Number 2 is cancer. Number 3 is medical malpractice. Look that up. So the thing is, on medical malpractice is you got cancer, you trust your doctor's advice and what they're doing, and you're just a profit center for them. I could talk for hours on this, and it just continues to piss me off to this day. About 4 or 5 weeks ago, my mom's at her oncologist. She wouldn't let me go. She knows that I'd be confrontational. My sister was there. She recorded the whole thing. My mom says, I want to get another PET scan before I do. I don't think I'm going to do chemo anymore. I want a PET scan. And the doctor had the audacity to say, why? Why? And my sister and my mom are like, to see if the freaking cancer is still there. They didn't say it like that. I would have said something else. No, we're not asking. We're demanding to see a scan before we do anything. We make a decision going forward. And he's like, well, he had told her before that the insurance doesn't cover it. So she came home and she told me, I'm like, Mom, call your insurance company. She did, and the insurance company goes, oh yeah, we'll cover another PET scan. It's up to your doctor. So when she went back, the doctor goes, well, I want to keep that aside, and I want to do these other treatments. Again, just him making money off the whole situation. and that's where I think the scam is. They make a lot of money in sick care, and prefer to keep you sick and just kind of drain that insurance gravy train. So he said, I can tell you, you do have cancer. You don't need to look at a scan. And he looked her dead in the eye and said, you still have cancer. And how do you know? He goes, well, I just know. And he actually expected her to accept that as, oh, okay, well, the doctor told me I have cancer. And he said, by the way, you're always going to have cancer, so you don't need a PET scan. That was not okay. She demanded the PET scan. She got the PET scan, and when the doctor showed up, he's like, oh, yeah, no more cancer. Guys, question everything. You've got more information to everything through AI than the doctor has, 12, 20, 30 years of experience. You've got it right at your fingertip, and it's free. So question everything, trust but verify. Like, you trust that the doctors are well-intentioned, but verify that what they're saying is even right. I just left. I'm kind of getting off. I'm not getting off subject. I just got back from the doctor. I had my liver scanned a month ago. She told me liver disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States. I'm like, oh, really? I didn't know that. And just the average person just believes whatever they say. What I really wanted to say is, no, it's not. It's the number 10 leading cause of death. And all of my numbers have gone down over the last 2.5 years. This scan was completely unnecessary. And so anyway, I was at the doctor just 30 minutes ago. Just got home, and of course, the scan shows, well, you're healthy, you're fine. But she goes, I don't even know why we did it, because why did the doctor suggest that you do this? And I don't know, because he wanted to make money off of it. And okay, anyway, kind of getting off subject a little bit, but I want to tell you what we're doing going forward. So the cancer comes back. I mean, we know that it does. Her lifestyle has to change, her diet and exercise, and all of us. I mean, we should just we should be doing these things anyway. But she's really skinny. She's lost a lot of weight. So here's what we're doing going forward. And research this. There's a bioregulator called follistatin. Follistatin 242. So follistatin's been around for a while, and follistatin is a myostatin inhibitor. And myostatin is in your body already, and it's the brake pedal on telling your body not to grow muscle too fast at an accelerated rate. So what the inhibitor does, it takes the myostatin, it takes the brakes off of it and allows you to grow muscle at a faster pace. Well, that's appealing for a lot of people. If this is half as true as what they claim it to be true, is bodybuilders that step on stage at 280 now, a year and a half from now, they're going to be 320. It's just, the claims are really ridiculous, but even if they deliver at half of what the claims are meant to be, or what they're claiming, this is a game changer, and a lot of people are going to want to be on follistatin. It's not cheap, but it solves the issue with Retta, where I think a lot of people watching this video are taking retatrutide or some type of GLP. You know that reduces your caloric intake, your food craving. You operate at a calorie deficit, and in doing that, you lose muscle. So on the GLP-1 and the GLP-2, what the studies show is the weight loss that you experience over the time that you're on those, the GLP and the GLP-2, 70% muscle loss compared to 30% fat loss. Retatrutide flips that, and the numbers are in. It's like 70-30 the other way. So you can lose 70% body fat, but you're still going to lose 30% of the loss is going to be muscle, unless you're eating enough protein, which none of you are. None of my clients, I mean, everybody we talk to, are you eating enough protein? Yeah, I'm eating enough protein. We start counting it out, they're not eating enough protein. A lot of you guys are taking Retta, you don't do any resistance training, you're missing the mark on that. Men and women need muscle. It's not only about, you know, how you look, but it's for longevity. You need to have muscle, you need to have resistance training to strengthen your bones so you don't fall over at 60 years old, break your hip and die. So anyway, follistatin, I'm taking it right now. I'll give you an update later on how it's working, but I've got a FedEx that should be coming pretty soon, and Mom is jumping on follistatin. It's not cheap. You only have to do like Retta, you can do the injection once a week, or you can do it every other week, but it's just one time. Mom is going to be at a lower dose. Of course, me being me, I'm taking a lot more, but we'll see how that works. She's starting that today, along with Klotho, Klotho, longevity peptide. Supposed to basically make your cells younger. That's the simplest way I can explain it. Research it, Klotho. The lab that I work with, this is proprietary, it's patented, so they're the only ones that sell this. You can get it through me, it's not cheap. You're not going to notice a performance, it's not a cosmetic thing, it's not you're not going to get bigger or stronger. You're probably just going to live longer, and it just makes everything else work better. That's coming. Mom's going to be on that here by the end of today. The other thing, and I laugh at this because I've been doing steroids for 30 years, bigger, stronger, that's always been the goal. There is a big, there's a lot of research out there now for women in particular with Anavar. Anavar is a very mild steroid that women in competition take as pre-contest, fitness competitors and athletes. It helps you maintain and increase lean muscle mass. Very low milligram, 5 milligrams. Yeah, I'm putting my mom on the juice. So she's going to be taking that, and I've got that right now. And the cool thing is, and I'm happy to share this with you, I'm excited. I'm inking a deal at 4:30 today where I'm now going to be in the telehealth business. In a few weeks, you'll be able to go to my website, fill out an intake form, and in all 50 states, I've got licensed practitioners that can write prescriptions, TRT, women's hormones, and Anavar is on the list of meds that we prescribe. This, I can tell you from personal experience, because I've taken Anavar off and on for 30 years, so with no side effects. It's low dosage, it's not really toxic, it's super safe, it doesn't aromatize, you're not going to get you're not going to get a deep voice and grow hair on your back or anything crazy. It's but you will probably put on a few pounds of lean muscle mass while it burns fat at the same time. So if you're taking Retta and you're losing muscle, you can add the Anavar. It's really cheap. We can get it prescribed by a doctor, shipped right to your door. Legit compounding pharmacy in the United States, everything made in America, baby. Not messing with any of the China bullshit that your friends are buying off of Facebook. So I've got, if you track with me, I've been working with a certain lab out of Wyoming for the last year and a half. We sell in kits. You get a better deal when you buy 10 vials at a time. It really brings the price down on everything. So I think I'm one of the only ones out there right now that are doing that. I'm still going to keep doing that. You'll still have access to me, text message here and there. I don't want to know about your poop, so please stop texting me about your poop. And every little thing that happens in your life, if you stub your toe in a parking lot and you walk out and you're sitting in a restaurant, it's not the restaurant's fault, or it's not Retta's fault that you stubbed your toe. um, Anyway, I've got some other stories to say. A lot of my clients, I love all of you, but hey, Brian, I had anxiety the other night. Could that be the Retta? My tooth, I've got veneers and one of them fell out. Could that be the Retta? It's like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but anyway, I still work like that, and I work by referral only. That's just really friends and family of friends and friends of family and all that. But you'll be able to go to the website, be able to buy single bottles. The pricing is very competitive, but it's more than if you were to buy a kit. BPC might cost $80 over here. If you buy a kit, it comes to $40 a bottle. So if you're going to be committed to doing any peptides, kits are the way to go. If you want to buy single bottles, the PNC 27 and the like Prostamax and some of the nasal peptides, you can buy that off the website. If you're going through that service, I'm not available by text. That's available to anybody, to the public. It's kind of like Peptide Science, who I used for 2 decades. You order it, it shows up. Other than that, don't call me, don't text me, don't bug me. Either research only, do your own research, figure it out, but you can buy it off that site, off my site. The telehealth is going through a doctor network, so I don't talk to you. They review blood work if you need blood work, and they do the doctor, let the doctor be the doctor. If you want personal coaching through me, that's available. I charge for that, so if you want to be part of like our inner circle, that's where we do the hour consultation once a month. We review blood work, results, look at your protocols, talk about your dosages, talk about your hormones. We could talk about your bowel movements if you want to. We talk about your exercise. We talk about everything: your in-body, your body composition, your scans. That is you can book me. You can do that by the hour. I do charge for that. My time is worth something in my experience. So anyway, if you want to do that, you can. Still, if you're referring friends and family and we're just doing what we just call a discovery call and they're interested in peptides, I'll jump on the phone, talk to them for 30 minutes, get to know them a little bit, what their goals are. Those are free for now. So I am kind of hitting a limit on how much time that I have every day. I tried to be fast. We're at 33 minutes. How do I say this without taking credit for freaking curing cancer or anything? That's not the case. This is God doing His thing in my mom's case. But over the last year, I've worked with people with their colitis. They no longer take medicine for that. They're autoimmune. They're off the medicine with that. They're antidepressants, they're off the medicine for that. Anti-anxiety, off the medicine for that. Diabetes, Retta, I can say this, is going to cure diabetes. Being fat going forward is an option, is a choice. It's not something hereditary. The only obesity is if you grow up in a family where you eat like shit and you don't work out, you don't exercise, and everybody in your family has diabetes. That's not hereditary. That's called the environment that you live in. And there's no gene that says that, don't fall for this, and I'll say a bullshit, where, it's genetic. This is genetic. I'm overweight by genetic. I have diabetes or cancer is genetic. Show me if it's genetic, there's a gene that you have called ABC or whatever, and it's passed along, and you ask your doctor which gene that is that gives you this, that makes it genetic. and they look at you as stupid because um, when they can't find a solution for something, they just say it's genetic. So, yeah, diabetes is absolutely a choice. Insulin resistance, Retta fixes that. If they gave away Retta the same way they gave away that COVID vaccine, if you guys fell for that, um, we would be shutting down hospitals and not building new ones. And it'd probably put our economy in a recession because healthcare, not healthcare, sick care is so profitable. And it affects so many people, or puts so many people to work and are employed, and it's such a multi-billion, trillion-dollar business. All these diagnoses, all these diseases, all these things that, there's not a cure for it. I mean, shit, we've raised how many trillions of dollars for cancer research, and ivermectin, this was $100. Fast for 14 days. If you don't eat any food, your body will eat those cancer cells. They won't tell you that because there's no money in it. These peptides, they're amino acids. They're not. If you can't patent it, then nobody's got a reason to take it through FDA approval. There's no reason to do the studies on it because they can't patent it. If they can't patent it, they can't monetize it. They can't monetize it. They can't make billions of dollars selling something else. They don't want you to know about this stuff. So anyway, it is what it is, guys. Hopefully this was helpful. I told you exactly what my mom took and what she's taking going forward, and thank God for what he does. This has been an amazing experience. I'm here for a reason, and I've been able to help a couple people just because 30 years ago I started juicing and buying testosterone in a gym parking lot. 3 decades injecting stuff in my body, and I'm sitting here in 2026, and what was gear back then is called TRT now. So exact same thing, testosterone cypionate. I've been doing it for 30 years, and I talk to men that are my age that are dragging ass, have no energy, no libido. They've got dad bods, and they wonder why their wives cheat on them. Because you don't have any testosterone, dude. You're like a liberal. You're like a damn Democrat. The soy milk is turning you feminine. So anyway, I'm on a different subject now. I might have offended one or two of you guys, but I love you anyway. God says, love your neighbors. My pastor in Knoxville said, God wants you to love your neighbors, even if they're Democrats. So anyway, I love you. If I can help any of your friends or family, let me know. There's the protocol. It is what it is. Those are the results we got. Hopefully that's helpful for you. I'm gonna go watch the Tennessee Vols baseball, go work out. I'm gonna go to Blue 32. I'm gonna eat a protein platter and a root beer. God bless.